hello and welcome to At Home. We are so glad to see you. We're so glad for a lot of reasons because this is the first program. We're back in the studio, in our studio kitchen, because we've wrapped up the production of Pastor Greg, and now the whole studio is kind of back to what we normally have it. And we're glad because we're beginning our Christmas programs. I don't know about you, but already in my mind I'm thinking, what cookies? Well, today we're going to give you some hints on some cookies. And one of my favorite cookie bakers is Patty, who works here on the program with us, but she also has her own cookie and baking business. And she was here last year and you enjoyed her cookies, and she's back again this year. She's making a Russian torte. Wait do you see this? And some other goodies. I tell you, this is the time to get those things done so you're not swamped closer to the holiday. First of all, you want to make sure that you get your baking supplies in, because it's amazing if you have them on your shelf. Get the nuts, get the extra chocolate chips, make sure you have the flour, the brown sugar, the powdered sugar, the butter, the things that you need, the vanilla. Check the vanilla, check the baking soda and the baking powder, because they go stale very quickly, especially the baking powder. There's a date on the bottom of the can. So if you want good things to happen when you're baking, get your supplies, have them in your pantry. Then some evening when like dinner dishes are over and the kids are kind of calmed down, or they're someplace else with some friends, you might have an opportunity to go in there, grab some ingredients, and put together a batch of cookies. At the end of the program, we're going to tell you how to prepare them to freeze, because these cookies all freeze very, very well. And you want to make sure you have a good supply of plastic wrap, of wax paper, and some nice containers. Start looking for some containers that seal really well around the edges, okay? So if you get all that preparation done, then it's not so much like, oh my goodness, what am I, I have to go and run here and run here. You don't want to do that, okay? Most of all, keep the spirit of Christmas in your heart, because that's what this is all about, Jesus' birthday. We'll be right back in just a minute. First, here's today's at-home hint. Here's today's at-home hint. Store flour in a clean, tightly covered container for up to 1 year at room temperature. Store sugar in a tightly covered container for up to 2 years.
If you have an at-home hint, a favorite recipe, or just a friendly greeting you'd like to share, we'd like to hear from you. Post it in the comments of this video or visit our Facebook page.
Well, to get us started with our Christmas baking is my friend Patty. She is such a dear. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
When you start with the cookies, and I know it's Christmas, because she cooks and bakes at her house for Christmas, like from when? From what date to when? Christmas Eve?
No, it's usually the first week in December till the 20th, 21st, something like that.
I mean day and night. I have been there when we have filled how many lady locks? Pans and pans. But we're not even going to give you her phone number because she's already booked full. So, but she's going to share some of the recipes, which is great. Your Russian torte we're going to get to in a minute. But I asked you to make, last year she made caramel tassies. These were so good, so delicate, so tasty. Okay, talk us through real quick here what we did.
They're very easy to make. What you do is you take 6 ounces of cream cheese and 1.5 cups of butter and 2 cups of flour. You mix that in a mixer.
Mix a dough.
And then you roll it into balls. And I grease mine. You don't have to, but I always grease mine.
They come out easier,
They come out really nice. So I grease it, and then you're supposed to chill it.
Well, you use this little thing, and when you make the ball, then you just dip it in flour, and you do this, and that comes right up instead of sitting there doing this. I used to do this for my pecan tassies. I hated to make them for that reason. So
that
then you bake
easy.
them for how long?
You bake them about 10, 15 minutes, so they're slightly brown.
And this is what you get.
Nice
Don't they look
cups.
great? They're like pastry. They're very fragile, just browned, and now you're going to make the caramel filling.
Right, and all you do with the caramel is, I like to buy the blocks of caramel, which is, then you don't have to mess peeling all those little ones out.
But you could use like a 1 pound bag of caramels, right?
Right, you can use them. It's just easier buying the blocks.
Sure.
And what I did was I melted the caramel down with 1/2 cup of evaporated milk. And you have to cook it over very low heat, otherwise it will scorch on you. So it takes
Almost
a while.
Looks like gravy.
Yeah, it does. It takes a while, but it's better to cook it slow and long than for it to
it'll burn. Won't it?
Yeah, it'll burn real easy.
Okay.
Then once you get it melted, you fill your little cups.
You mean right out of that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All you do is take teaspoons and you fill your cups.
Okay. Now, is that going to fill all these this much? 1 pound?
Mm-hmm.
You want to start on the icing, and I'll start filling these cups?
Sure.
Okay. Because there's an icing that goes on top of these.
And then for the icing, it's really simple. All you do is take a stick of butter, half cup
Is that
of,
room temperature butter? It's not cold, right?
yeah, room
The
temperature.
butter, okay.
Half cup of shortening. Let me get a spatula here. Half
Okay.
cup of shortening.
Shortening and butter, okay.
Yep. And then you use sugar. I think it's about a cup of sugar, or 2/3
Okay.
cup of sugar.
Let me see, I have it right here. It is, sugar is 2/3
2/3.
cup, you're right.
All right, and then you mix it really well.
Now, could you let this dough chill if you had to?
Yeah.
Like you can, you know, a
Make
good
it
hint.
ahead.
Yeah, you can mix up a batch of dough, and if you don't have time to bake them off, you can, you know, do it later. So put them in the fridge and let them chill for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Okay, now is that going to get nice and foamy?
Yeah, you have to add warm evaporated milk.
Oh, okay.
And
Warm?
that's what, warm evaporated milk.
Wow.
And that's what,
Is there a little bit of vanilla you put in there?
a little bit of vanilla.
Okay.
And you put your evaporated
Now,
milk
I would
in.
think that that would melt that, and that would be nothing but goop.
No, it doesn't. It makes
Isn't
it
that
really nice.
amazing, huh?
Yeah, it does.
Okay,
Almost
well,
got
I
you.
just got the annual
Almost got
Christmas
you.
splash. That's all right. It's fun to cook with somebody.
Yeah.
I love to bake with people.
I do too. I have girlfriends that help me every Christmas.
I know.
And we have
I've
a good
come
time.
a couple times
Yes,
myself.
you have.
And you get down there and you get laughing and talking and remembering. It makes time go quickly, and it's fun.
And what's nice is my kids enjoy it, and they
Yeah, they
bring
get
their
into it.
kids, and they all really have a great time doing this.
And Brittany, she's in the first year of college. I
Yeah.
remember when she was like 5, 6 years old, down there helping, trying to,
Yeah. Now Jenna's down there helping, and Brittany's gotten bigger and better jobs down
Yeah.
there.
And she's in college.
Right.
And Andrew, what's he doing?
Andrew's also in college, and
Does he help us?
yes, he does. He
Does he?
actually likes to bake the most.
Really?
He
Of all the
enjoys it
girls?
more than the girls and anybody.
Get out.
Yep. He loves it.
Wow. Now this is going to make a good many, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like how many?
It makes about 5 dozen.
5 dozen. Do you have to keep these in the fridge?
Yeah, I do.
Keep them cold. Okay.
I think they're better when they're cold.
Okay. So you have to you just keep stirring that until it comes
until
up.
it gets thick and creamy.
Okay. And this, I mean, this is a lot.
I'm
Now-
afraid to do it too high because I'm
That's all right.
splashing you.
Now go ahead. I'll stand back. It'll be okay. Not to worry.
All covered in icing.
And what's nice about these, this is a great idea for a gift because this is not something that you normally see as a normal cookie like the chocolate chips and that. These, even a half a dozen or a dozen of these in a really pretty gift box or a nice tin, make a wonderful gift for somebody that's like shut in or, I mean, somebody that isn't shut in that just likes cookies really well. It's a great, great idea. And I think it's different. You know, when I think about this kind of a dough, you really could fill this with almost anything, couldn't you?
Yeah, you can. I've tried it with raspberry filling.
Yeah.
Oh, is it good mixed with
How
like
about
a?
apricot?
Oh yeah, let's see why not.
Apricot and a little drizzle on the top, like a light glaze or something.
It's really, really,
It really
good.
would.
Yeah, it's starting to. It needs to really go high.
It's hot. Okay. You know what? This is good. It gets fluffy though,
Yeah,
right?
it gets fluffy, and then you ice them up.
Okay.
But
You know
this
what?
is going to need to be on a
Oh,
different
bigger.
mixer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Why don't we start the Russian torte? Let's just push all this aside, and I'll work on that
Okay.
while you start the Russian torte because I really want you to see this. This is awesome. Okay. We'll just put this to the side. We'll show you those at the end of the program. You also want to save
Nuts.
some of the nuts
You
too because
sprinkle
we're
them
going to
on
sprinkle
top.
that on top of the icing once it comes on the top of the
Okay.
little tassies.
For the Russian
Okay,
torts.
tell me about the Russian
Okay,
torte.
Russian torts. First thing you want to do is you take about a 1/4 cup of hot water.
Okay, quarter
Stir
cup.
your yeast.
Dissolve the yeast.
Dissolve your yeast. And that's done right out of the way.
Okay. Just mix that around.
Okay, and then that sets while you're messing with the rest of it.
Okay.
Okay, then you take your butter.
Now
3
this
sticks
is the
of butter.
this is the dough you're making, right?
Right, that's
okay.
the dough. 3 sticks of butter. 4 cups of flour.
What else?
1/4 cup of milk.
Quarter cup of milk. That's just room temperature milk.
Yeah,
Okay.
room temperature milk. 4 egg yolks.
Just the yolks.
Just
but
the
you're
yolks.
saving the whites, right?
Saving the whites because they make the meringue from the
Oh,
top.
okay.
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 And you start mixing this.
And this is going to mix into a batter.
Yeah, this will make into a dough.
Oh, a dough. Okay.
Okay.
Now you want
And
to
then
put that
you
in
start
where?
adding. Then you start getting your yeast in.
And you want to make sure all the yeast is in there too. So scrape the bottom of your container. You know what? While this is mixing into a dough, we're going to take a break. We come back, we'll show you the rest of the torte and something else really good. We'll be right back.
Do you love watching At Home with Arlene Williams? Then be sure to check out our new YouTube channel. It's filled with classic episodes from over 20 years of At Home, and more videos are added each day. And don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home.
We come back at the end of the program, you're going to see those caramel tassies and the icing on it. But we wanted to get at the torte, and I really wanted you to see how she did it. She just mixed all of the things on the recipe that you're going to get, which was she dissolved the yeast in the water, which you did, and the butter and the flour and the 4 egg yolks only, keep the whites. This is all on this is a little bit involved. So she made the batter, and now she's separating it, making 3 balls, because this has 3 layers, this torte. And you're going to start rolling out, and I'm going to spray. Now, what size is this pan, Patty?
It's a half sheet. I believe it's a 12 by 18.
12 by 18, okay. And it's just try not to use the garlic flavored butter, because that doesn't go good with Russian tortes. So let's just get the plain butter flavored. You want to get it in the corners really well so nothing sticks.
Right.
Okay?
Right, and then what you do with your dough is you divide it into 3 equal balls.
Okay.
And then you roll them out. Roll them out on a lightly
that's
floured.
A nice dough to work with,
yeah,
isn't
it is. It works very nice.
You don't even have to let that raise or anything from the
No.
time you mix it up. Isn't that wonderful?
It is. It's very nice. It works real well. And what's nice is if you use it in a mixer, it kneads it instead of you having
you don't
to do
have
all
to
that
do the work.
kneading.
That's
it
right.
saves your hands. And
That's
it's
why a
wonderful.
big mixer really, if you're a baker, that's an investment you need to
Yes,
do.
it
You
is.
just need to do it.
It's the best thing you could get.
So now, and that's really easy to work with. And you can, is
very
it
easy.
stretchability?
Yes.
I can tell she's
Okay,
already,
and then what you do is you put it, line the bottom of your pan.
so you don't bring it up the edge or nothing.
No. And
Just push it in?
Yeah. And the
Okay.
trick with
You
this
just,
stuff, you could
you
bend
can
it
tell
and
she's in
mold it.
business. Like I would be re-rolling, redoing. She just patches, because who's going to see the bottom layer anyway,
You don't
right?
see the bottom. You just spread it about.
Okay, I'll
and
do
then-
that. I'll do that while
yeah,
you're.
spread that.
I'll do
okay,
it.
and then next thing you do is the easiest thing to do when you make this is have your fillings all ready to go. First thing I did was I ground my nuts, which was 3 cups of nuts, and I put a cup of sugar in it and a couple teaspoons of cinnamon, and that's all ready to go. So when I get that rolled
No
out,
moisture in that, right?
no,
No
none.
moisture.
None.
Okay.
You don't need it.
Yeah, really, you don't.
You don't need it. And
Okay,
then
so there we go. Now what do I
got
put on
that,
here?
and
The
then
nuts?
you put all
Okay.
the nuts except for you save like a 1/4 cup,
Okay. Does that go
and
on
that
the
goes
top?
on the top.
Okay.
And you
That's what-
spread your nuts
Spread the nuts evenly all over the pan.
all over the top.
Wow, that's so easy.
Yep.
Kind of get them evenly distributed.
Yeah, the worst part about this recipe is getting everything together. Once you have
To
everything
assemble, yeah, I
set and ready
understand.
to go, then it's a breeze.
Yeah, okay. Well, we got that. All right.
Okay, then you do your next layer,
Okay.
and you roll that one out.
Okay. Now this is interesting because after she builds the 3 layers, then we bake it for 30 minutes.
About 20, 30 minutes.
20, 30 minutes at 350, right?
Right.
Then she brings it out, and those 4 reserved egg whites that we didn't put into the batter, she beats those up with what? Sugar?
Yeah, you beat them till they get stiff, and then you add your sugar.
Sugar, okay.
And then you pour it over top of your top layer.
You put the meringue over top of the last, wow.
Yeah, put the meringue over the top layer, sprinkle it with nuts, and you pop it back in the oven.
You pop it back in the oven for how long?
Couple minutes, so it just starts to get lightly, just a little bit of color to it. You don't really want it to
Okay,
get
go ahead, I'll
brown.
do this. Okay, now tell me what goes on next.
Apricot.
Apricot.
And what I like to use, you can make your own apricot filling, but I like to use these handy packs.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
It's quick, it's easy, and it's very tasty.
Yeah.
And
you
I
use
use
a whole
I
sleeve,
use
huh?
the whole thing. I like a lot of apricot.
Okay, you want me just to spread this around?
spread that
And you-
around.
Okay. Oh,
I'll
could
do
you
the-
put pineapple or raspberry or any other
guess
kind?
you could.
Ooh, that would be good.
Traditional is apricot,
Apricot.
but I'm sure you could use.
Because that's the
whatever you
Russian
like.
torte. That's what they always use, huh?
Yeah.
Yummo. You know what? You make this look so easy, Patty, because, you know, Patty, like, probably, how many of these would you make in a season, do you think?
I don't even know. I can't even tell you.
Probably 60,
That's
70,
it's very
80.
popular. I sell a lot of them.
Well, and you can see, like, we would look at that and think, oh, that would be hard to make. But she makes so many of them. Everything is so simple to her because she makes them all the time.
Well, part of the
Look,
trick
she's
is
ready
being
with the dough
organized
before I'm
with
ready
it.
spreading this out.
You know, that part of the trick to any baking is being organized before
Yeah,
you have your
well,
stuff
that's right.
ready to go,
Absolutely.
and then it makes it easier.
Okay, very good.
And you just layer this one on top.
This is the last one now, right?
Last one. And it doesn't
Push it
have
into
to
the
be
corner.
perfect. It really doesn't have to be perfect.
Now, what do you do with
topping
these sides?
this with meringue.
What do you do? Oh, so you don't see it.
No, you're not going to see it anyhow. You're going to
But
be topping
would
it
you
all
leave
with
that?
meringue.
You leave that on there because that's the
Yeah, you
crust
could.
part.
You can.
Okay.
That's not going to hurt anything. Then you just pop it in the oven.
Bake it like that for
You bake
20
it
to
like
30
this.
minutes, and then brings it out and she puts the meringue on it. Now I'm going to do the other one. We're going to do that chocolate coconut one that you're doing. They're honest, they taste like an almond joy. Remember what the almond joys with the light milk chocolate and the whole almond, and what else? I'm trying to think what else is in there, Patty.
There's cream
it's back here.
cheese and nuts.
All right, powdered sugar. We got it all right here.
We're all ready to roll.
Okay, tell us how we do it.
Okay, we mix the butter, the cream cheese, powdered sugar, coconut.
In the bowl?
Yeah,
Over there's the bowl. Okay. Here we go.
perfect.
Yeah. Again, the big mixer is like a lifesaver for this.
Especially at Christmas time.
Absolutely.
It saves your hands, it saves time.
It's everything, doesn't it?
It's wonderful. And it makes life real easy.
Room temperature again, the butter and the cream cheese has to be room temperature. It doesn't work, does it? You get little bits all through it. It's not good.
All right, and all you do
Okay.
is dump all your stuff in. These
Okay.
are absolutely wonderful. These are my husband's favorite. He loves these.
Okay, so this is a half a cup of butter, a pound of powdered sugar, 3 ounces of cream cheese,
Right.
3 cups of flaked coconut, some whole almonds, and a pound of the Merkins chocolate discs, those little for dipping.
Right.
Okay, now this is gonna mix around. And that'll come into like a, is it moist?
Yes, it's very moist.
It'll come in real
It's almost a little
moist.
sticky. It doesn't tell you to chill them, but I like to chill them because I think they dip better chilled.
Okay, and we need to put these, we need some paper or something
Yeah,
on here?
a little bit of
like
wax
a
paper.
Okay, where's the wax paper? Okay, like we haven't been here for so long, who remembers where anything is, right? Oh, there it is right there. We'll use parchment paper instead, how's that? That work? Parchment paper?
That'll work.
Okay.
I
'Cause
love
she's-
parchment paper. I use it to bake with all the time.
Yeah, you know what? If you haven't used parchment paper, you gotta start thinking about getting a roll because you can bake cookies and pull them off the sheets and hurry up and bake another. If you don't have a lot of pans, so you don't disturb the cookies. It's a good idea.
What you do is you make small little balls, and then Arlene, you could stuff the almond in the middle.
So I just stick it in the middle
Yep.
anywhere. But you
Stuff
wanna
the
cover
almond. Yeah,
and cover that up. Okay.
right. And that's all you do with these.
Okay, then what do you do?
And then you chill them. I like to chill them, but you don't have to.
How long?
And then you dip them in chocolate, just
Show
till
us
they're
how you
firm.
dip one of those in chocolate, just so we get an idea. We only have about a minute here.
All right.
You need a fork?
Yeah.
Okay, just happen to have one.
All you
There you
do.
go. Want to bring your chocolate over so we can see it closer maybe? There you go.
All you do is you dip it in chocolate.
And you want to
I
really
like to use a fork.
really be careful.
And you don't want to get water in it.
Yeah, and you
And all
really
you
want to
do
be
is-
careful
And drop it on the pan.
when you're melting the chocolate because it'll seize
Yeah,
up
that's
on you.
another one, right? You have to do it very, very low temperature, and you can't let any water or anything get into it because
Right,
it'll ruin
it'll
your
make a
chocolate
mess.
on you. Right.
Now, how many does this make?
This will make about 3 dozen.
3 dozen?
Yeah.
They have to be refrigerated,
You don't have to now.
even with the cream cheese in there?
I haven't, but
Okay.
I guess you could.
I probably would because I kind of like that cold
Yeah.
almond joy. This does, it tastes exactly like an almond
they're
joy.
wonderful.
And I would even like this with dark chocolate, like the
Yeah.
semi-sweet would be great
Yeah,
in
and
this
you
too.
don't have to use almonds in it. Sometimes I just make them plain without the nuts.
Okay. All right, when we come back, we're going to show you how to package and how to serve them. Stay with us. We'll be right back in just a minute.
Just go to ctvn.org/at-home to get all the recipes from today's show for free. That's right, no subscriptions. They're available online at no cost, and more are being added each day. So join us at ctvn.org/at-home to get today's recipes now.
Well, I hope that you've joined us today because we've done cookies, cookies, and more cookies. Patty, tell us now, look at this. This is what your Russian torte looks like after the meringue goes on, and she sprinkles it with nuts, brings it out. How long do you bake it with meringue?
About 5 minutes,
5
just till it
minutes till
gets
it
a
browns.
little bit of color.
Now, she said you have to what?
Cut it while it's hot.
So how many cuts do you do, big or little?
You do them fairly small. You can get about 7 dozen out of this pan.
Okay. Boy, that cuts nice and easy,
Yeah,
too.
it does. It really does.
And there's apricot and everything in there. Oh, boy.
Apricot, nut,
Okay,
right.
while she's finishing, let's take a trip around the... Look at this. This is our beautiful... Aren't they gorgeous caramel tassies? And that's the icing that we... she's whipped up, and then we just sprinkled some of the nuts on top. These I would refrigerate them because they stay really nice when they're cold. Here's our coconut almond joy balls. They are incredible. They are so... Look at that. So delicious, so moist. And I would keep these. She said that these freeze. Now, I've not done the freezing with these, but she said you can freeze with them. So, try it. Here's one that's all cut up of the torts that she has made. Now you would take this pan and you'd want to put it in, if you're going to freeze, if you bake this early, you want to freeze some of these, okay? Let's give you some ideas. First of all, if you have some containers like this and you think, see what I do, I know I'm going to make a lot of different assorted throughout the year, throughout the season. So I put a few of each of them in a container. Then when somebody comes by, I just pop the container instead of going through this one and this one and this one and this one. You can put tins. Tins are great to use anytime you want to give a gift of cookies or to even put them in the freezer. These are great. You can package them like this. These are those little caramel cups. How about a variety? 4 different kinds of cookies, a half a dozen of each to a friend. Please get ready for Christmas. And we'll be back the next time because it just wouldn't be the same without you. We'll see you then. Thanks, Patty.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Furnishings provided by Levin Furniture, featuring Lane's Country Living Collection. Food provided by Jordan Banana Company, wholesalers of fresh fruit and vegetables in Trevosburg, Pennsylvania.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home. Thank you for watching.
Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.